Okay, in this video, we're going to start the bottom or the rest of the body, the main portion of the body, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, excuse me. What you're going to do is you're going to start here, basically like right here where this tail is, where you ended the bottom of the pants portion. That's probably the best place to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a different color, okay, for the shirt or whatever you want to call that. We're going to attach a slip stitch right there because we're going to attach the yarn at that point. Okay, so where you want to start it is right before at the end of this color and in the beginning of this color, and it's best to go around the posts of the stitches here. Don't worry, you're not going to see that because it's inside that little tube. So you just want to attach it right there with a slip stitch. And it's a little tedious at first because we're just making a base chain to get started, and then we're going to crochet from there. So we're going to slip stitch through just like so, and then we're going to chain one, okay, just to get you started, get you attached. And then what you're going to do is slip stitch all the way around the posts of from the beginning, this color to that color. So these posts right here, you're going to slip stitch around each one. That one might be a little bit difficult to see, but we're going to slip stitch through this post right here from the right where the two colors are joined. So we're going to slip stitch through that post here, and you're just going to do that all the way around. Now make sure that when you go over here over the loops that you slip stitch over top of it. So what I mean by that is let me kind of loosen that up there. We're going to slip stitch. Say when you do a slip stitch, you just make sure that your loop is like that, and then you pull under the loop and then over, and then that will give you, it's just like that. You're going to slip stitch over top of the loop like that, and just do that all the way around, and we're making a base chain to start with. So just go ahead and do that, and I will be back once we get to the other end. Okay, we're back. Okay, so now what you did was you just created a slip stitch all the way around this, so that, sorry about that, I bumped my camera. You just created a slip stitch all the way around this, and then what you're going to do is you're going to join this end with this end. You're just going to join the two together, and then you're going to chain one. Okay, so now you have a base to start your next few rows. We're going to work these in continuous rounds. You're going to single in each one of these slip stitches all the way around. You're not going to join it. We're just going to continue on. So that's when you're going to need to use your marker, your contrasting piece of yarn, and just count your rows. So for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for the next 6 rows, this would be row 2 through 7 that we're about to do. So this was row 1, and now we're going to do up to row 7, and it's just going to be continuous rounds all the way around, and mark your rows after each row. And then when we get to row 7, I'll be right back. Okay, now you should be on at the end of row 7. Okay, we're right here, and this should be kind of what you have currently. Don't worry about this because once we're all done, you can kind of work that back and get it fluffed back up. And see, it hides your stitch also. See, and it looks pretty seamless. I mean, you can see that, but once it's stuffed, you won't. It'll hide itself inside of there. So don't worry about that. So what you have now is you're at the end of row 7. We're not going to join it. We're going to keep going as a continuous round. But this row, row 8, we're going to do a little differently. We're going to do 4 singles, then an increase, and we're going to do that 5 times. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do an increase. An increase is 2 stitches in 1. So there's 1, and then you're going to go back into the same spot and do another stitch. So you just created 2 stitches in that one spot. That's an increase. If you need to learn more about doing increases and decreases, I would suggest searching on YouTube. There's many videos that will show you how to do that sort of thing. But that's just basically what you do. Okay, we're going to repeat that portion 5 times. So that's 4 singles and 1 increase. And then we'll do that 5 times, counting this one. We're going to do it 4 more times, and then I will be right back when we get to the end of that one. Okay, now you should be right about here. See, here's your starting marker. So you did 4 singles, then an increase, 4 singles, then an increase, 4 singles, then an increase, 4 singles, and an increase. So there should be 5 of those, of that sequence. So next we're going to do kind of the same thing, but we're going to do a decrease. I know it's like, why are you doing that? You could just do single crochet all the way around. But I did this because so it would round out the body a little better when you stuffed it, and it just kind of worked. So that's kind of where I left it. So in this one, we're going to do 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to do a decrease. To do a decrease, you just go into the one, pull up a loop, into the next one, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 1. Okay, we're going to do that another time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do our decrease, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up another loop. Now you have 3. There's your decrease. So now there's two sets of those. So we did 4 singles, then a decrease, 4 singles, then a decrease. Okay, now you're going to do 14 plain old single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, just plain old single crochets there. Okay, now you're going to do a decrease. Again, 1, now you have 2, do the next stitch, now you have 3, pull through all 3. There's your decrease. Next we're going to do that, not the same set, but we're going to do 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then now we're going to do a single decrease. Another one, another one. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to pull through all 3, and we have our decrease. Okay, now we're going to do that one more time. 1, 2, oops, that one got away from me. 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do one more single decrease. 1, 3 loops on our hook. Pull through all 3. Okay, and then now for the remainder, you're just going to do single all the way to the end. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish that, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was the end. That's the end. Hopefully, that was the end of row 8. So hopefully, you did your decrease, and then you went and did the remaining. I think there was like six or 7 stitches left of regular single crochet to the very end, to where your marker is at. Next, you're going to mark with your contrasting yarn. You're going to pull that back over. Sorry, you can't see that very well. It's a little bright. There we go. You're going to mark that again. Okay, we're going to start rows 9 and 10. 9 and 10 are just going to be single all the way around 2 times. Okay, we're going to single for row 9, then we're going to single again for row 10, and then I'll meet you back here at the end of row 10. Okay, now we're on row 11. What you should have is something that looks like this so far. Okay, we still have our marker going along the first stitch here. We're on row 11. And what we're going to do in row 11 is we are going to do 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay. Then we're going to do a single decrease. Okay. Now we're going to continue that sequence all the way around to the end. And whatever you end with, don't worry, just end with whatever you end with. And then when we get to the end, I'll be right back and we'll meet up there. Okay, we're at the end of row 11. Hopefully you finished that off. Now for row 12, we're just going to do a basic single all the way around. You're going to join it, and then you're going to finish it off, which means you're going to slip stitch at the end, and then cut it, and as usual, leave kind of a long tail, and then pull it through. And then for sake of time, I'm going to start the next video with the remainder of the shirt portion of this part of the body. The reason I did all the decreases and the increases is to give it this little rounded effect, to make it more jolly, I guess. Once you stuffed it, it just makes it like a more squeezable kind of doll. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So for row 12, remember, just single all the way around, join it with a slip stitch at the end, tie off, and we'll start up with the stripe, I believe, on the next part of this body.